now.
And now, Ben Fordham comments for our friends at Hoyt's Herbs and Spices, a 100% Australian family-owned company.
Well, what a kick in the guts. One of the bastards involved in killing 88 Australians is being released early. Umar Patek is one of the bomb makers involved in the 2002 Bali bombings. He made the bomb that killed 88 Aussies. He admitted to mixing the chemicals that were used in the explosives that ripped through the tourist location of Kuta. Umar Patek is this scumbag's name. He served only 10 years in prison. Well, he was supposed to be doing 20. What happened to the 20-year sentence that this bastard was handed? He avoided the death penalty after apparently cooperating with authorities. An Indonesian government official says he's been given parole because of his good behaviour. What a disgrace and what an insult. The decision has come on Indonesia's Independence Day, where the country traditionally reduces the sentences of thousands of prisoners. So Umar Patek will soon walk free. The terror expert, Professor Greg Barton, is warning that he could still pose a longer-term threat given his connections to terror networks. And meanwhile, his victims here in Australia and in other parts of the world have been given a life sentence. The Bali bombings on October 12, 2002 killed more than 200 human beings. 202 all up. Most of the victims were aged in their 20s and their 30s, so they were just starting out in life, innocent people, enjoying a holiday, when a suicide bomber walked into a nightclub. People were killed in an instant. And when survivors tried to flee, another blast occurred in a nearby van. It was planned with maximum carnage in mind. If you were one of the lucky ones who could get away from the first bomb, then chances are you were swept up by the second bomb. The Coogee Dolphins rugby league team had been celebrating their end-of-season trip. 6 of their team members were killed in the blast. And it may have happened in Bali, but this was an attack on Australia and Australians. Umar Patek is not the first Bali bombing scumbag to be given a soft sentence. One of the ringleaders, Abu Bakr Bashir, was released last year. He was commander of the Islamic extremist group behind the attack. Bashir only served 10 years of his 15-year sentence. When one of the architects of the blast was arrested 20 years ago, he laughed and joked with the Indonesian police, and during his trial, Amrozi became known as the laughing bomber, the smiling assassin. Thankfully, he was sentenced to death. But many others involved in the Bali bombings were not. And when you think about it, relatives of those killed have endured so much. The loss of their loved ones, the twisted attitudes of the terrorists, and the soft sentences handed down by Indonesia's legal system. The Australian Jan Lazinski was in Kuta on the night of the attack. 5 of his friends were killed. He's told the Sydney Morning Herald today, they all say they're reformed and they've seen the evils of their past, but you sometimes sit back and wonder, are they going to wake up one day and do the same thing again? And what about this? The 20th anniversary of the attack is coming up on the 12th of October. This is going to make the anniversary even tougher this year. Indonesia has no issue executing Australians who smuggle drugs, but not Umar Patek. His is a very different story. You can mix the chemicals to build the bomb that killed 202 people, and halfway through your prison sentence, you get an early mark. And we know that it's a very difficult morning for all of those family members. There are so many of them in Sydney, many in the Sutherland Shire who lost loved ones in the Bali bombings in 2002. It must be very difficult for you this morning, and we pass on our love to all of you.
Sydney's best breakfast. For more